Hey everybody, Mr. Rubo here. Today we're going to talk about graphing a quadratic in vertex form. So here I've written vertex form for you. It's y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And there's a reason why this is called vertex form. This is probably my favorite form of quadratics because it's the least amount of work usually. So here h is your x coordinate of your vertex and k is the y coordinate. So to find our vertex, which remember is super important when we're graphing, there's no work. That's why it's called vertex form. You literally get your vertex, no problem. The only thing I ever see that students make mistakes with this form is right here. It's always minus h, so that means if you have x minus 2, your h is 2. If you have x plus 7, your h would be negative 7 then. Okay? So that's usually the biggest error I see. Okay? So, just like standard form, once you have your vertex, you then just need to find one other point, and you can then use the axis of symmetry, which just like before, your axis of symmetry, so I'm going to say axis of symmetry or line of symmetry, I've seen it stated both ways, is going to be x equals this x coordinate, so in this case, it's going to always equal h. Okay? So there, that would be our axis of symmetry, and that'll help us graph. So let's just get to an example. So yeah, let's do this guy. Y equals negative x plus 2 squared plus 1. All right, so right away, we know our vertex is going to be at negative 2, comma 1. We do that without any work. We just look right there. And that's supposed to be an erase or a highlight. Where's my undo button? There it is. So there's the x minus h, and there's k. Right? So not any work. It's just right there for us. That's why vertex form is so nice. So then, let me go back to a different color. Our axis of symmetry is at x equals negative 2. So let's go ahead to our graph, and we're just going to sketch it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So now, let me change colors. Our vertex is at negative 2, comma 1. So there's our vertex. And just like before, as long as our vertex isn't the y-intercept, the y-intercept is going to be the next easiest point to find, because we're just substituting in 0, right? So here, if we substitute 0 in, you're going to get negative 2 squared plus 1. That's going to make it 4, but the negative's outside, so the negative does stay. So it'd be negative 4 plus 1, so it'd be negative 3. So y-intercept is down here at negative 3. And we have our axis of symmetry right here. And so we are 2 away from our axis of symmetry, so we're going to have another point that is also 2 away on the other side. And there we go. We just connect it in that U shape. And this one faces down because we had a negative out in front. So that's always good to check. And we're facing down. Did we have a negative there? And we did, so we're good. So yeah, so for this one, our steps are very similar to the standard form. Find vertex. There's just no work for that. I'll say find vertex and axis of symmetry. Second step, find another point. And once again, this is usually the y-intercept. If The only time it's not is when the vertex ends up being the y-intercept, so then you have to substitute another point. Once again, 1 is usually a good idea. All right, and then the last step is to just find the symmetric point. Okay, once you find that symmetric point, then connect everything together in that U, and you're done. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and have a good day. And I realize you can't see that it says find right behind my head. That's okay, it says find. Gotta stop right in that corner. All right, have a good one.